Welcome to the first live of 2025.
Woo-hoo.
I'm hoping you can hear us. I'm going to get the microphones queued up. Last time we had an issue with the microphones. We got the whole squad here today as well. I'm just going to turn live chat on. I see Tord's on, Bob Woods from Alberta, Marco from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Howdy, Fred. Weaver from Oregon. Awesome, thanks guys. Confirm that you can hear me, but give me a second because I'm gonna put our microphones in. Okay, Michael, thank you. Let me just get this queued up. We were having a bit of a mad rush here at the shop, so we're a couple minutes late, but that one should be working. So let's plug that in, see what happens.
Check, check.
I think this is number one.
Check, check.
All right, so let me know if that's working, please. Joe is here. Joe has the wrench on. Why do you have the wrench on, Joe?
He's working on something.
Oh no, Joe, you're my managing moderator. Welcome, Joe. You have a job to do. Loud and clear. Perfect. Well, it was a couple lives ago. I can't remember why, but we put him as a moderator for some reason. So anyways, welcome guys. It's 2025, first live here at the shop. Thank you. Chad. Chad, who is talking on the live, is also here on the live as well. So we got Chad in the house. Ward's down there, putting stuff away.
I'm here.
Russell McRusselson's over there in his Gucci plaid. Loud and clear from Cornwall. Perfect. I'm going to get you guys started on the TV so we can see that. Oh, that's cool. What's his name from that show? There's a video, something to do with like drones. Let's see here. Adam Savage explores wing drones engineering workshop. Very cool. Check that out.
Do you hear about that drone that hit the Canadian firefighter down the plane down in the States in California?
No, not really.
Clipped the nose of it.
No, clip the wing.
Was it the wing?
Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. We got to go to.
I don't know.
We got to go to not the lighter side of RC After Dark. Oh my gosh! We got to go to another channel. There we go. Now it'll show up. This is a lot of work. A lot of work. There we go. And you guys should pop up on the screen. Well, we should pop up on the screen, but you guys should be there as well too.
Hello, hello.
There we go.
There we go.
Connecting to live chat. All right, we're set up. So what's been going on? Well, we've been working on the Atom. That's been the project of December. December was a little bit slow in project world. We are finishing up the Atom, and we are getting back onto the Glacial aircraft, which is right up there, up high and away and out of harm's way. We are going to be getting busy on the F-100, and we're going to be getting busy on the Roban Heli. So we got a few projects to get underway. My Rebel Hot has landed in California, so it should be on its way here hopefully soon. I see 33 people on the live chat. You should give the video a thumbs up if you're on the live chat. If you have not done so, please do so. And
Chad's already done it, and he's already here.
it's amazing. It's like magic.
This technology.
It's a magic. Yeah, so I'll show you guys the Atom. The Atom videos. Hey, Kenneth, how are you? The Atom videos are, video 3 came out today, and video 3 is the wings. There is going to be 6 videos in total. So 5 and 6 are a little bit more detailed in the setup and all the fuselage stuff. And then video 4 and 5, sorry, I think I said 5 and 6. Video 4 and 5 are getting the plane kind of done and finished. Video 6, which has been recorded already, starts off with the test run, and then it goes into it's probably going to be I'm just editing the video now, it's probably going to be an hour of jetty stuff. So it's going to be setting up Jetty with thrust vectoring, setting up Jetty telemetry devices, and just doing all of the setup on the plane. So it was a lot. It was actually an hour and like 40 minutes of recording, but it's probably going to edit down to about 50 minutes, I think, maybe an hour-ish. So I'm going to flip you guys around here. So yeah, the Atom was cool. It's really excited to fly this thing. It turned out beautiful. Very happy with it. I did the engine test run yesterday, and that's when we did all of the other stuff with the plane. So the 190, because of our elevation, is going to be perfect, but it's got gobs of power. The tank turned out really, really good. I'm happy with it. Of course, our lovely, lovely top tray. Hey, Stacy, how are you? And that turned out great. When I did the test run yesterday, this is color change vinyl. So because it was cold out, this vinyl actually turns this purple color in the cold, and then it turns yellow, it turns pink when it warms up. So when this was cold, I could take my finger and touch it and it would turn pink. It was pretty neat. So we've got 2 batteries in the nose here. So this is our turbine battery. So that's a 4,000 milliamp 3-cell. And then this side is our receiver battery, which is 1 battery, and that is a 2-cell 5,000 milliamp. And then we needed a strip and a half of weights in the nose, and she balances perfect. This works out good, I think, because if we do find that the stock CG is a little bit nose heavy, we can pull that weight out as well. So everything turned out really nice. I'm happy with it, and it's going to be a fun flyer. So the thrust vectoring, we can fire that up tonight as well too, and I'll show you guys behind the scenes of how we got everything programmed. But this is pretty slick, so it's pretty awesome.
It's his first
Robert, how are you? Thank you.
vectoring one.
Yeah, it's a cool plane. It's came out at, you'll see this in the final video, but because you guys are here, you get all the juicy details. It came out at, what was it, 23 pounds. Yeah, 23 pounds. Howdy, David. Hopefully you're still not burning. Hopefully everything's good. I think everything's good with you.
Brentwood, yes.
So yeah, everything's pretty cool with this. So I'm going to pull my radio out. We will get the batteries plugged in, and I'll show you guys how everything turned out with this thing. It's pretty neat.
Speed sensor and everything.
Wrong radio, Russell.
Wrong radio. He uses his.
Shop
blue one.
radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
That's
gonna.
that's the second rate radio now.
Oh, yeah.
We got to pull the
It's slightly
fancy
used
one out.
radio.
Yeah, he's got to bring the fancy dancy
Ready?
one.
It plays music when you open the case.
Oh, light. You should put a light there to glow.
Glitter bomb.
Fancy.
All right, so it was definitely a head scratcher yesterday trying to figure out the vectored thrust because I've never done it before. That was the confusing part. So
Getting it coordinated
well,
to Aileron's elevator?
no, that part was pretty easy. What was difficult about it was I had an idea in my head of how I wanted everything to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug the turbine in just so we don't get the low battery. So I had an idea in my head of how I wanted everything to work, and it sort of worked, but not really. And I'll actually show you what I'm talking about, and it'll make more sense. So yeah, so 2 batteries on this plane. The reason I went with 2 batteries, generally I would do 1 battery setup on a plane this size, but I knew I would need nose weight. So that's why we did the 2 batteries. So we've got 1 battery for the turbine. This battery runs the gear and all the electronics on the plane, but everything's good. So yeah, what I had to do yesterday on the new radio was I took this switch, my SA switch, and I switched it with my SH switch. So this is a 3-position switch. Over here, I don't really use it for anything. I use this or my SC switch for turning lights on and off, but those switches for me don't ever really get used. Most of my stuff is right-handed for anything flying related. So this is gyro on off. That's power. It's going to be a locking switch. But what I needed was I needed a regular flying mode, a vector nozzle on mode, and a hover mode. So that's the reason I made those switch changes. So I'll show you in the back end here what that actually did and why it was a bit of a brain scratcher. So we will turn the plane on.
Can see the gyro light.
So, how do I explain this?
David says he has your locking switch and he'll ship this week.
Nice.
Thanks, David.
So basically what happened was I had this is going to be pretty technical for people, so I'll try and explain this as simple as possible.
Dumb it down.
But I had, see, in your Cortex gyro, you've got two banks. You've got a yellow bank and you've got a green bank. They're adjustable to be whatever you want them to be. But generally, when you're flying a jet or a turbine aircraft, you're only ever really flying in the yellow bank. The green bank is for aerobatic planes. Unless you have something specific, you can make the yellow bank the same as the green bank. You can do whatever you want. So what I was doing is I was having my vectored nozzle working and the yellow bank gyro for the nozzle on. And I figured I could just turn those servos off. Now I could turn those servos off where they wouldn't react to my stick movements, but when you move the plane, the gyro still made them move. So that's what I was having a hard time with, is I wanted to be able to fly normally, turn my vectored nozzle on and have it work and everything, turn it off and have everything stop working. So I ended up doing that, but it took a bit of a workaround compared to what I had in my brain as far as an idea goes. So what I ended up doing,
500
is that showing up?
Yeah, you're good.
So what I ended up doing was creating some more flight modes. So I've got takeoff, landing, and flight. So those are our normal flight modes that we have, and they're set up on this switch right here. And then I added vector on and hover. So those are two extra flight modes, and those are on my SH switch. So if you see here, if I go to vector on, there's a little check mark beside that, hover, check mark beside that. And then now we're back into regular flying mode. So let's go to the back end and I'll show you what this actually looks like. So the problem I was having was we're in regular flight mode right now, and right now if I go like this, the elevator gyro or the gyro is making elevators operate like they were supposed to or like they're supposed to. The tail cone here, or the vectored nozzle, was operating as well. So I'll show you how I got that solved. So now the gyro is working normally. If I turn vectored nozzle on, the vectored nozzle still doesn't respond to gyro movements, which I think is how you want it set. But if I use my sticks, now it operates. So that's flight mode, vector on. And then if we go to hover mode, what happens is all of our surfaces are now on the heading hold side of the gyro. So all of the surfaces, when we push this tail down, you'll see the elevators and the vectored nozzle go down and stay there. They don't just blip down and come back. So what this is doing is this would be hover mode, right? You wouldn't want to fly in this mode because your tail is going to keep you straight. But if you go like that, so this is heading hold mode or hover mode. But our nozzle, of course, still works. So that's the brain fart I was working with. I just turned the gyro off. That's why it got more quiet. So the other cool thing, or thing I was kind of expecting, and I talk about this in the video, was right now, it's going to be hard to see on camera, but my vectored nozzle is kind of skewed a little bit this way and a little bit this way. And the reason for that is I had it centered before I ever ran this thing. When this pipe is heated up with the turbine running, it expands so much that I needed to add about 30 points of sub trim to get this thing leveled out. So right now it's skewed this way, skewed this way. When that pipe heats up, it goes right back into alignment. It's pretty wild because your rods are fixed, right? From this point to the servo, this point to the servo, your pipe is fixed at the front, but it extends and contracts at the back here. So it's pretty wild setting this thing up. So ultimately though, we can just fly this thing around in our normal flight modes and the vectored nozzle is not going to work. It's just fixed. So we can fly it around like a normal plane, if you want to call it that, and then we can turn vectored nozzle on, have some fun with it, or go into hover mode. So that's how we have it set up. And we can do all that with flaps too. I didn't realize that. Flaps on, or hold on. Cool.
See, on takeoff flaps, that would be kind of neat. Floating that thing off.
A little bit of extra oomph on your takeoff.
Oomph. Well,
Get
it's
off,
like
get off nice and early.
David Sequoia's like that, right?
Would you use your vector to take off?
Maybe. Like, you'd have to be really careful though, because, when I was test running this, you'll see in the video too, so at the beginning of video 6, I had this plane sitting on the crate over there while I was test running it. I had the vectored nozzle on, full throttle, and you go like this just a little bit, so up trim, and the whole tail of the plane was pushing down, like making the gear squat. And if I go forward elevator, which is pushing it down, the whole tail was lifting up off the ground. It was nuts.
So you could take off in a real short span at that if you
Yeah, you
kick
could.
it in and just
Yeah, you could. I mean,
jump within a foot.
it's going to be one of those things, I think, maybe with experience, once you fly the plane a bunch, you can start to have more fun with it. I think the vectored nozzle is just going to stay off. And then maybe flight 3, 4, we'll start to turn the vectored nozzle on and just use it for like hammerheads and kind of play around with it. Pinwheels, yeah.
Oh, pinwheel.
We'll see. Doing random crap that you just need to recover from. Maybe.
Yeah. Oops.
So yeah, that's the Atom. It's a pretty cool plane, very cool plane. I've been watching some videos of this thing fly, and doesn't seem to have any bad tendencies. Some of the guys that have flown one already I've been chatting with, and when you roll it, like if you're down low and you roll the thing, it just rolls straight and axial. Doesn't require any movements or any stick additions or any correction. So
Yeah, David said for the SU-30 you need a VT for smooth takeoff. Otherwise it will jump off the runway.
yeah, and that's because there's so much weight on the nose of the SU-30 at takeoff, right? So it's you've got, but on the SU-30 there was just a little bit of vectored nozzle.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it wasn't much, but the other cool thing with this plane too, and I told you about this already, about the gear, right, position?
Yes.
Yeah, so Ward, if you come over here with the camera, so actually maybe go on the other side of the bench there.
Get you in a good distance here.
Gonna give you a far shot. Perfect. Robert, I'll answer your question in a minute. So I'm just waiting until I can see the camera here. Perfect, that's a good shot. Awesome. So the other cool thing with this plane is the CG is center of the wing tube, which is where my hand is. And if you look at the landing gear, it's 92 millimeters-ish behind the CG point. So the other cool thing about that is I like, some of my jets that are light on the nose, you can come in and do wheelies and stuff, it's fun. But when you have a CG point that far ahead of the landing gear on a sports jet, they land amazing because it's still flying nice and neutral, but when you come in and those main gear touch, the nose just sticks to the ground. The Boomerang Ranger was a lot like that, is like that as well too. So obviously takeoff, it's still not super heavy on the nose. It's still going to take off great, but it's just something that's pretty neat when you're building a sports jet or putting a sports jet together and just comparing some of those things. I think about my old CARF Ultra Flash. In order to get that plane as neutral as possible, the nose, like with the plane fully assembled, ready to go, you could take it and go like this and the thing would just fall backwards. So when we fly off grass, what happens is you come in for a landing and you have to be really slow before that thing touches down, otherwise your nose will bounce up and it can be a bit of a problem. Now you can make the plane more nose heavy, but then it's not, when you go inverted, you have to push more forward elevator. So yeah, so it's just something neat that I've noticed about the plane. Went together really well. It was pretty simple. Obviously, all the extra things we did, painting the inside, making our own tank, doing the stuff on the board, added some more time. There's screens on the intakes as well too. I can't remember if that's been covered in the videos yet. I don't think so. I think that's next video, video 4.
That's where our grass
But
field is.
yeah, I put screens here, and it's probably going to be fine on this plane, but because you've got this F-18 kind of cover over top of the intakes, and the nose is 1.5 feet in front of the intakes, I think it's going to suck up a fair bit of grass. So that's why we put the mesh. It's metal screen mesh, like window screen mesh over top of the intakes. And yeah, it was easy plane.
Ever worry about grass coming up through the nose gear?
Well, the nice thing about the nose gear on this one, and this is something you see on the Elite Aerosports planes, is the nose gear retracts forward. The benefit of that is obviously your opening is in front of the gear, right? So when this thing's down, there's no opening behind the gear. Unlike my, the Carf Rebel is backwards. So the gear's back here and it comes forward. So I actually put a cover on the Carf Rebel because it kicks up so much grass. And my Rebel Hot will be getting a cover on it as well too. So.
They work well.
Robert, I think you asked if I have built a Maibo A10. I have not. The only Maibo plane I've put together is the glider that we did. Yeah, forget what it was called, but the glider.
Yeah.
Little jet engine.
Yeah, and the little guy.
Stacy's.
Yeah, with a little
That was
Chicoy X45.
Yeah. Keith asked a question a while back. Says, when you joined the wires in the wing, you use tape? Doesn't Dubro make a piece to hold the connections together? Since I've seen one in the years past.
Good question. So, I'm just getting a drink.
most of the JRs or anything. There's connectors.
We use.
Use actual. Use
I think I have got one floating around here. 1 or 1,000.
You can find the bag and slaughter it.
There's a few different ones.
Yeah. Echo Smoke says you should build David a water bomber
Yeah.
for his fields.
Check the.
Canadair bottom line.
Actually, if you want
Yes.
to come back over
Yeah,
here.
those are the best ones around, anyways.
Yeah, they're designed exactly for it.
Also, you can get the Ashlock connectors. I've got them listed on my website now. So we've got stock on these things.
pointing
So this is what we use on our wings, pretty much all of them. This is the 12-pin version. We carry the 9, the 6, and the 3. But this is what we use, or I use here at the shop, pretty much for everything. So that's generally what you'll see on all of our aircraft is the Ashlock connectors,
I think what he was talking about
the locks.
was inside swing.
Oh, inside the wing.
Like this.
The servo connections inside
Yeah,
the wing.
so-
Oil tape on it.
Inside the wing, you could use something like this. Well, number one, I can't use these. The reason I can't use them is because they don't work with power box connectors. The power box connectors are too long. So they don't work with this style. They don't work with the cheap flimsy style. So I haven't been able to use these in a long time. I will either use shrink tubing on my connectors, but recently we've started using foil tape. Honestly, the reason I've started using the foil tape, and it's just 3M tape.
It is nicer to use.
Yeah, so I've started using this, which is like the duct tape. So we just cut off a strip like this and then wrap it around.
Coming over here for some.
I've got 5 rolls in there.
And you have to make sure you put it on right. If you put it on wrong, he will have you tear it off and put it
Oh,
back
I don't
on
care.
properly.
You're playing, you can do whatever you want. So the reason I've kind of stopped using the shrink tube is when you get the shrink tube on the connector and you've got to get it off, you've got to take an X-Acto blade, have it upside down. And I've cut my finger a bunch recently. I've cut a bunch of wires. And it was kind of the reason I started using the foil tape was just because of that. The shrink tube's nice, but for serviceability, it really is not great. The foil tape, the nice thing with it is, I actually had to do it today. You really have to heave on it, but you can pull the connectors apart and then just pick off the foil tape. But that
Comes
works
off-
good.
Came off pretty quick and easy too.
Yeah.
Because it's got very sticky glue on the
Yes.
back of that foil
Yeah.
tape.
And then if the glue ever was to dry out, I cut a piece off like that. It probably goes around, what, 4 times?
Yeah, about 4 times.
So when you go around 4 times, and then we kind of squish the ends all down. So like the actual foil is squished down now, and it's not gonna let the connector come apart either.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
And before that glue dries out, the plane's probably expired by then.
most likely,
yeah,
unless it's the
Time for
F100.
new wiring.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if we have any other questions or not that I've
No,
missed.
we don't. Nobody's asking questions. I guess they know everything.
It's a new year, they're digging through all the questions.
We have the Mybo A10. Have you built one?
No. Haven't had the pleasure of.
Yeah.
The only one I know of is Al's.
Yeah.
Yeah, locally we've only got one that's around here.
Let's go to the very beginning. I don't see anybody.
No,
It's a hanger queen.
Has it ever flown? I don't know if it's flown.
Yeah, it's flown down in Princeton.
Oh, you did fly
Oh
down
yeah,
there?
yeah, that's right.
Echo Smoke asked if you've opened your package yet.
Oh yeah, I did. We got a box from Joe today.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Did you send my parts?
No.
You sure want a lot of things, don't you?
Thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, Joe, for that.
That actually looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks really good. So that'll get hung up on the shop. I was thinking up there beside my logo thing, my banner thing that Michael from RC Custom 3D or from RCCG Machine sent. Yeah, very nice, Joe. Well done. I love that.
Yep.
Looks
it
good.
Nice. Looks really nice.
I like the F-15 on there. Warbird, meh,
Well, you
Nah.
found both ends of the spectrum for me.
meh.
I know. He's,
And we do have some giveaway stuff. Thank you, Joe, for that. We're not going to be giving it away on the live. This is going to be on the regular channel. What else did we get? We got some stock items. We got some DreamWorks vent fittings.
Oh, yeah, I like those.
But we got some new high flow stuff for that Joe's doing for us. So we're going to have these listed on our site as well too. I'm just going to get you to adjust that down.
He's creating stuff for tanks, isn't he?
So basically, Joe's put together a high flow setup for us. I don't know the final price yet on this, but he's making his own clunks, so heavy clunks. This is all designed for 8mm size tubing, is what it's all designed for. So you've got a vent fitting here as well. You've got the bung fitting, and yeah, so it's a pretty cool setup. This one here doesn't have the little thingy, but this is what they'll look like when they come right there. So you got the glue-in fitting there. So it gives you an idea of everything it comes with. And then of course you've got your brass tube. So if you have a big long tank with like a baffle in it, or a long tank where you need the brass tube in the center, it will come with the brass tube, Tygon tubing as well too. So the whole kit and caboodle there. And we've got a few of those we'll list on the website here. And nice. I haven't gone through this yet. This is the first time. In case of emergency.
That's cool.
yeah, I'll get that up there. There we go.
In case of emergency, drop the F-bomb.
That's nice.
Nice, Joe.
That is very nice.
That's awesome. He told me there was a surprise in here, so I guess that's the
it.
surprise. Okay, good. Nice.
Okay.
We'll also have the Model Aviation products lineup listed, and some safety wire as well. So full kit, very cool.
Everything you need.
We'll also have some Model Aviation products, UATs, listed on the website soon. I have them in stock, just haven't put them together or put them on the website yet.
Hey, Bert says he's asking a question. What did you think of that 2K mix at the nozzle black paint?
Good question. I don't like it.
Is it just how they mix the
Well-
black paint or what?
The problem with the mix at the nozzle paint, I think I've still got some
You have an
here.
aerosol kicking in?
So here's the clear coat that it is,
Yeah.
but the other stuff is gone. So, oh, there is?
Sitting in front of them.
Oh, in front of Joe? Oh. Yeah, I don't like this stuff. You can tell when it's coming out properly, and you can tell when it's not coming out properly. So when I was doing the inside of the fuselage, as long as I held that can straight and level, it came out properly, and you could actually hear it working properly. As soon as I went sideways, one of the sides, like the paint would come out, but the activator wouldn't come out. So it's not actually mixing at the nozzle, it mixes just after the nozzle, so the aerosol is mixing. So not a big fan of it. It took quite a while for it to stop being wet. Some areas were great, like the areas on the side of the fuselage where you're spraying it and the can's perfectly straight on. Awesome. The clear is the same way. So you can tell when this clear is working perfectly, and you can tell when it's not working perfectly. So this is the clear I use to spray the front or the main plate. And you'll see in the videos, I end up redoing that plate. So the underside of that plate is actually sanded off and destroyed and wrecked because I was using an older can of this and I sprayed it and I'm like, oh, there it is. You could actually tell that it wasn't mixing properly and it made the paint react. So yeah, as long as you can tell when this is working and not working, great product, but not really great product. So not recommended. Big X. Yeah.
Okay, RH says he's building a Tomahawk Futura 2.5 and putting a JetCat 250 Pro S engine in it. I need a pipe. What would you suggest? A 120 millimeter inside diameter pipe for that engine?
You're going to want to go with a 100 to 125. So basically 4 to 5 inches is what you want to go with for that size engine. Yeah, as far as sources go, depends on who's close to you and where you're located. There's Hype Custom Pipe in the US. There's Gromania. Joe Tamez unfortunately passed away back a few months ago, but Scott Marr from Elite Aerosports has is doing pipes for, I think I don't know the details of it, but he's basically doing pipes now, so I think he might have bought Joey Tamez's equipment. The pipe for the F100, Scott Marr from Elite Aerosports did that pipe for us. So there's thankfully a few choices to go to now.
And Jeremy says, are you leaving the vector thrust as is, or is there a tail cone to cover it?
No, that's as it is. I'll show you some details here. So some guys, so our pipe is, it's going to be hard to see in the black, but there's a piece of wood right here. And a lot of guys are running these tabs for the pipe behind that piece of wood. So 1 inch further back or even further back. So from this mounting location, you actually have about 1 inch to 1.5 inches that you can go back further. So a few guys that we've seen that have set this up actually have like the end of the pipe sitting back flush with the back of the fuselage. So your vectored nozzle is actually sitting back about 1 inch, 1.5 inches further, which is hideous. Yeah. So that's why we jammed everything as far forward as possible. So our turbine starter is actually sitting over top of the wing tube there. There is a nice gap, like I can take my finger and I can tuck it underneath the starter motor, so there's no issues with that. But we did run this 190 as far forward as possible, and basically we kind of took the 190, stuck it where I was comfortable, took the pipe, stuck it where it fits properly, and this is how things work out. With the vectored nozzle, you need a fair bit of clearance here, right? There's nothing you can do beyond that because the side one, you've got no clearance there between the fuselage, like 1/4 inch. you got a bit more up top here. You can put your finger in there, but yeah,
show 'em
this
show 'em-
is the way it is.
Show them about where the servos are in there. They're way up there.
There's a shot. Yeah,
How long the rods are. I'm like,
the side servo's not bad. The top one's terrible. So the
Yeah,
top
I saw
servo's
that.
sitting right here, but the side one's down there. So
That last one's a horrible design.
carbon fiber rod. though.
well, you know,
Right?
I saw. I think it was Lior in Israel. I think he put one of these together a few months ago. So that top one, he actually ran it where I couldn't see it perfectly from the picture, but it almost looks like you could touch the servo from the back of that opening. So he's taken that.
Put it like right here.
Yeah, so that servo, like that plate, is actually sitting about here.
That would make more sense.
Yes, totally. So, but I don't know. I'm a fan of looks before function sometimes on my own plane, so I would rather have it tucked there.
When you gotta replace that servo, it's
No.
gonna be a bear.
That's why we went with a really nice servo. So
Okay.
never planning on replacing that servo ever.
Dave says, if we're talking pipe sizes, what range would you suggest for a Chico X120?
Chikoi.
Chicoy. Chicoy.
Boy, we're
Hey, I'm still learning.
We're gonna get you straightened. After that jet power thing, when these,
I think you can. I think Chikoi in their manual has a range listed, and it's a little bit smaller than I would generally say. But I'll give you an example on the Carf Rebel Classic. So this plane is designed for a 120-ish size engine, and this is a 90 millimeter pipe.
So that's about 2.5.
So it's a little bit big, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So carf pipes are generally bigger. So you could do a 120 on a 75 millimeter pipe, would probably be quite nice.
that's over 3 inches.
75 is 3 inches. 90 is 3.5.
Wow.
So yeah, that's kind of the range I would say is maybe a minimum of 70, but you're probably, for a 120, there's no reason to go any bigger than that. Like a 90 is quite a large pipe for a 120 size engine. So.
So you don't want to go too big, or else not too much air or thrust is being wasted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a
Or
pipe
too small,
expert,
or
but
you burn
there's that's a good question. There's actually, like, if you go on the Gromania website, they have a lot of technology with pipes. So actually, I think you want to have a little bit larger at the pipe where the turbine is, and you want it to taper a little bit towards the back is the right way to do things. That's not generally what happens. Like that pipe on the Rebel Classic, I think is 90 mils at the front, 90 mils at the back, right?
It's a straight pipe.
Just a straight pipe. If you have too small of a turbine and too big of a pipe, or the pipe's too big for the turbine, I think you lose thrust is what happens. So
And if you have it,
Are lost.
if you have it too small, you'll burn it up.
yes, yeah, too small you create lots of heat.
It probably would be better to have it vectored down a little bit,
That's what they say.
because
Yeah.
it's just like you take an air hose, you got to go through a wide one. It's hard, but you put it to a narrow one. It's
Yeah.
so.
It's probably easier for them to build it all one dimension all the way across.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just
Instead of going from
It'd just
90
be
down to
easy.
85.
Yeah, tapering, and then you're tapering
guy at the end there
your
just
outer pipe as well too, right? So
yeah.
yeah, it's a lot more work for sure.
Well, you don't have to taper the outer side.
No, but just getting everything to line up.
That spacing in between. Right?
Yeah, you just have to adjust your spacing so it's proper. But cool.
Okay, no more.
I'm done with being on camera. We're gonna have Chad on camera for a while.
Yeah.
David says hello, Chad.
It's high.
Yeah. David says he found the Chikoi manual, 60 millimeters. It just seems to be a scary
60
small.
60 millimeters. That's what I was thinking, right? When I said that was, their dimensions in their manual seem quite small for
Yeah.
what I would generally suggest. 70, I think 70, 75 is perfect. So
That's it.
cool. If you guys have any other questions, ask away. We've got about 15 minutes left on the live. The F-15 is here. Well, not here. It's in close proximity.
It's in transit.
It's in transit, yes. So the F-15 is en route. It's probably going to be here early next week. So
That's cool.
uncrating video. It's not a box anymore. It's a crate. And it's such a big crate that we need a trailer to pick it up. Doesn't fit in the back of a pickup truck. So maybe Tuesday. We'll see. So, but yeah, it's going to be here, I think, next week. So when we do the next live, we should have an F-15 probably sitting right behind Ward on that bench.
David says, woohoo,
I know.
F-15.
That's why I turned it around, because I can see the comments now. So, yeah, I think that is everything new. I didn't really think about if we had anything else.
Stacy asked, why is Chad hiding from the camera?
Chad's scared of the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't want to break
Oh,
it.
we got some cool DreamWorks stuff too. In our shipment that we ordered at the beginning of November that just showed up
Oh, it got stuck in
this
the
week
post.
because our lovely postal service went on strike.
Oh my lord.
But we got, oh,
Jets?
Jets do it. I thought that was awesome.
That's actually kind of
Very nice, cool logo. So,
Oh, I like that.
Hopefully Nike doesn't come after him
oh, good question.
with that.
So Michael said, did you get rusty not being able to fly during the winter months? Yes, actually. Most of it is kind of up here.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, so in 2024, I think I flew in November because I remember taking my, what was that white plane I had that I sold? The Kinetics? Yeah. I took my Kinetics out in November. I took the Super Roland out in November for a flight. That was the last flights. And then we went to Tucson in March. That was December, January, February, March. So that was about 4 months, but typically we have like 6 months before we fly in between winter. But I tell you, that going to Tucson was amazing. I flew more in that week than I would generally fly an entire summer locally here. So it was really nice. So going down to there was amazing. We flew for every single day for a week, and it was wonderful. And then all the other events we had stacked up throughout the year were great. So. But good question. But yeah, a lot of it takes me a little bit, like the first flight, I just try and fly something comfortable and just get, refreshed with everything. MKS keychain. Oh, wrong side of the camera. Will that pick up? I don't know if that'll pick up. There we go. Anyways, keychain. What else do we get? Remove before flight lanyard. Thank you. Stickers. Not decals. We got a sweat rag. That does have the DreamWorks logo.
Before or after?
Even a clip.
And the one that's going to piss people off.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Ready?
Da, da, da.
Real RC pilot.
It's truth.
Fly jets.
It's the truth, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, it's the truth. But yeah, they sent me a cool decal. But good, David had a good answer for that too. It said it's like biking after the first turn, it all comes back. Yeah, totally. That's what it feels like.
As soon as you get your balance back.
Yeah, you do that first takeoff, get the jitters out, do your first landing. It's all good.
Do a couple patterns into the loops, split S's, yeah.
But I'll tell you, that vectored thrust, I'm really excited for that this year. Are we allowed to let the cat out of the bag?
Go ahead.
All right, so
Stacy's gonna be pissed.
Stacy, plug your ears.
Joe. Joe said, no, RC pilots fly everything. No, they don't, Joe.
Yeah.
You don't see any prop jobs in my shop. Well, you see one up there, but it's
Decal
pink.
for the transmitter box.
It is. It fits right. It actually fits perfectly on that big band. That's where it's going. So, yeah. So the other Atom that we brought in, the darker colored one. Oh, Chad, what did you buy?
I think I got an Atom.
Oh, wonder who bought the other Atom. So Stacy was asking me about the Atom yesterday, and I said, oh, no, it's gone already. So, yeah, Chad bought the other Atom. So we're looking forward to, which is cool because obviously Chad's local. We're looking forward to flying them and maybe having a little hover competition.
Oh, flying together.
I don't know. I've hovered
We'll
a lot
see.
of planes, so
Yeah, you don't have quite as much control with the jets
No, it was more of a wider band.
because you don't have any of this, right? It's like you basically,
you gotta put it on the nozzle. But
yeah, but you don't have any rotation.
Torque roll.
Yeah, you should be.
No.
That one guy was doing it. He was
you
speeding
have
up
to
with
do that with the nozzle.
Yeah, you have to work into it.
Yeah. But the gas power ones will torque just because of the engine.
Yeah,
naturally.
and the air is coming over top of the surfaces, right? So if you add aileron,
Propeller's actually
then it's,
spinning
you can
the
get
air.
it to do this.
Yeah, okay.
So with a jet, you've got no air going over the surfaces, so everything is just the nozzle.
On the nozzle,
And the
so-
nozzle only has up and down, side to side.
The big vacuum.
So how did that guy do that with that one jet?
Well, you
then?
can get it. I mean, if you have
You
a
can do it.
if you have a wind, push your wing over, and then your plane just keeps going
Yeah,
or whatever, right? So
because I just remember seeing that guy flying that one at the farm. He was there and he was spinning it and making it.
well, no,
flip and fall.
that's different. We're talking
Yeah.
about hovering.
Yeah. Oh, just to hover,
Yeah,
just to sit in one
so-
spot.
Straight up and down.
Hovering? Yeah.
So yeah, when you're going up, I'm grabbing my demo plane
There
here.
we go.
So when you're going up,
Real jet.
right, and let's say so flight mode 1 or vectored nozzle on.
Okay.
The reason we don't have it reacting or whatever is because we're going to go up. Let's say you want to do a hammerhead, so you go up, and then you give it right, left rudder, whatever, and the plane will come over like this, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then you can keep it spinning as long as you have power thrust coming out of the tail cone, which is pushing it sideways.
Yeah, I've seen guys do that. Yeah.
So when you hover a jet, so let's say you come in over the runway nice and slow, you go up and you find that balance point, you bring it down over the runway, and you're sitting there hovering. The only control at that point is the nozzle doing this or the nozzle doing this.
The
Okay.
rudders don't do
Right?
anything.
Yeah, yeah. There's no airflow.
Yeah, on a prop plane, you've got air
stationary.
pushing over, so you take your ailerons and you give it right aileron,
It'll act
now the
like
plane will
roll.
do this.
Oh, okay.
So that's the difference.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be a fun experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pray there's no hard breeze. Just spin you around and knock you out of whack.
That should be interesting.
Yes.
Should be good.
Oh yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
Pray our turbines have enough power.
I think so. At 23 pounds.
Well, 23, let's say 4 liters of fuel.
Yeah.
So 2, 4, 6, 8. So basically about 30 pounds
And
total.
you're what, 190 in there?
And then at a reduced rate,
Up 30.
16% loss, is that what it was?
yeah.
We're getting 35 pounds of thrust.
Yeah.
So on a cold day, it'll be no problem. Hot day, full tank, it'll be,
Summer. Yeah.
Well,
you do that halfway into the
generally
flight.
go into a hover first thing.
Yeah, just take off and go straight up and hover.
Full load of
It'd
fuel.
be nice if we could do that.
Full load of fuel. Lot of weight. Lot of
So,
weight.
also the tank, when I cut that tank down, it ended up being exactly 4.5 liters, which was perfect. That's exactly where we wanted it to be, so it worked out ideal.
No taxi tanks.
No taxi tanks. So 4.5 liters for half a liter of startup, taxi time, takeoff, all that. But yeah, it worked out good.
Here's a hoping.
I hope so. It's going to be fun.
Make sure you wear 2 pairs of underwear when you go up for the first time.
Just stay
On the
up.
back
Both
And they
three
do make
stay
a
high.
they do make a bigger version, the 2.6 meter. I was chatting with him this week.
Maybe they can send us a couple.
Need a bigger plane?
Bigger flies better.
It does fly better.
It's easier to see.
Or just put a stronger
You
engine
don't
in
have to
that.
fly that far if you're in a hover.
No.
You can walk out and touch it.
So, any final questions, guys?
Like
Let
to
me
see that with
know.
hot exhaust.
The debate is now own plane or jet hover. What? I don't understand you. Joe, I don't understand. How many liters of fuel do you think would give an S220 good flight time? 5 liters is a good number for a 220. 6 is better, but 5 liters is good. 5 liters, you're probably 7 to 8 minutes on 5 liters.
4 liters on a 190 gives you 6.5 minutes.
Yeah,
We proved that.
yeah, exactly.
With the 15.
At full throttle.
Was it that long?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not a fun day.
You keep reliving this one engine.
F-15 debacle.
That's why I'm going jetty.
Oh, the debate between jets hover or planes hover.
Well, I guess how it's sounding right now is that plane hovers are for the simpletons.
Well, no, real men fly jets. That's basically what it is.
So the man guy to fly
Joe's
jets.
seen me hover though.
I know.
I'll drag the tail in the nest.
Well, I've seen Jonathan hover. We had that one plane there, went up there and slowed it right down. They just sat there for a while in the air.
Yeah.
That was with your,
That was the prop plane.
was it a prop? I thought it was a jet. There's that one jet you're practicing with.
Oh, my diamond you're talking
No,
about?
not your diamonds. The one you had.
Kinetics?
Not the, yeah, it could have been the Kinetics.
No,
I
I've
think.
never had anything.
Oh,
any
no, it's
jets
actually a
to
small
hover.
one. No, it was the small one that you had up there, and you just want to do see how slow you can go.
Oh, that's just slow flight. That's
And
not a
then
hover.
you went up there, and
That's
it
the
just,
Lancer.
it just happened to sit there and hover for a second there, just because of the wind.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need to build a area nest.
Yeah, Jeremy says you need to build a Harrier net. I don't think they have one out yet.
All you gotta do is go up like you're doing a hammerhead
Yeah.
and just reduce the power and just sit there.
Yeah.
Find out where it is and allow it to come down. Allow it to come down.
Yeah.
Down.
Well, he was going pretty slow with that jet.
Yeah, but it did that one. The Lancer doesn't have a vectored nozzle, right?
No.
So that's just sitting there in the air
Yeah,
current
just
is
sitting
all
there,
it's
just-
doing.
That happened to happen.
Just start practicing on your Harriers.
Let's see how the sticker
I was just gonna say you moved
fits.
it over. I bet you she's oh yeah.
Oh, perfection.
Well, Arnold
look at
asks, for VT, when you turn
Man, that's
that
nice.
function off, does it go back to center or whatever was last?
So yeah, when you turn the vectored nozzle off, it goes back to center.
Put it on the bottom.
There's no room on
Why?
the very top.
It's got little rubber bumpers.
Yeah. Got my iMac on the back side of mine.
I got my logo on that side and the logo of the radio.
When he's walking down and he's swinging it in the air, saying, "This is what I got." People can see both sides because he'll swing it in the air and come back down.
Coming out of the motel after eating breakfast. Feel like you're carrying a little suitcase of money.
Yeah, I still think you should buy a trailer. Nice big fifth wheel.
For the
Tracy
amount of
says-
camping I don't do.
Well, you could do.
No
I
thanks.
think he got his camping out of him that time he was camping in his trailer at the house here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think
That
that
was
was
it.
the end of it.
Yeah,
That was the last time I-
shot.
Yeah. Last time I ever went camping was sleeping here at the house in the trailer in the middle of winter.
I don't think the trailer's moved since.
Nope, sure hasn't.
Well,
Moved
yeah,
from over there to over there, and that was it. Like, screw that. No more of this business.
hey, it was
Hotels
cold.
for me. And we had the 2 dogs and the cats living in there. Yeah,
You're
it was
gonna have
fun.
to spray it with the heater.
Ooh, calm down, gentlemen.
Give the
Calm
heater a
down.
call. Give the heater a blast at it.
Why are you guys so dramatic?
And Tracy says Jonathan is going to be the poster child for hovering.
We'll see.
I don't know about that. Well, allow him to work into this. End of the year,
What?
be the hover
Yeah,
poster.
second flight.
We'll see. Ah,
It's not.
Need to get more
the
heat
thing.
onto it.
No, the thing's too.
It's got a
It's kind of a
Teflon.
textury finish. Maybe we can get this back on the thing.
One section meant to get sticky.
There we go.
Oh,
Oh, you guys are so dramatic.
it put everybody on the edge of the seat.
You know, I can get my wife to make one of these. It's not a big deal.
Actually, you know what?
All right, so it's not going on the transmitter case.
If you can make more of those in different colors.
For you, Russell, $72 each.
72 euros?
Perfect.
Echo Smoke says, rub the decal with a popsicle stick.
No, the texture on the radio box is like not sticky enough.
It's got a
rough it
Matte
up.
finish to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, matte finish is the best way to
And it
say.
doesn't adhere. It's not like the old box where it's just like flat.
That's okay.
Don't worry.
We'll find somewhere to put it.
Find good usage for it.
Oh.
I have like 3 bottles of water I could have.
Yes, say hi to everybody on YouTube because we're live.
No.
Why? What's the hiding of the
This is my youngest daughter, Vienna.
I got her in there.
Oh, have you grown since the last time I've seen you? Oh my lord.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Say goodbye to everybody.
All right, guys, 55 minutes. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Dave left like 5 minutes ago. He said goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Tor there asked a good one. How many liters of fuel do you?
We already answered that one.
Okay.
For the
Didn't see
220?
him. Yeah.
Old news, Ward. Old
Okay.
news.
Oh no.
Okay, I know. Just you got something that snuck by me. No, that's it. Guess nobody wants to talk.
When I ran that 6-liter tank with that 240, I was getting about 11 minutes at Princeton.
Yeah.
10 and a half, 11. That was a lot.
It's all going to depend on your throttle setting,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because I was never full throttle.
No.
Very rarely.
All right, guys. Well, that is the first live of 2025 wrapped up. We got so many fun projects coming. I keep looking at the wrong spot. There's the right spot.
Sailplane's not the hard one.
Yeah, we got lots of cool projects coming up. Obviously, today was video 3. The next 3 videos on the channel will be the Atom getting wrapped up. So lots of details on that if you're a Jetty guy or you just are curious about. Some of the stuff kind of just goes right across, right? Because when I was going through that, I was figuring it out because I don't have any idea what I was doing. So a lot of it is like me figuring out the process. So yeah, it's 3 more videos with the Atom, and then we've got the getting back on the heli and the glacial as well too, and then starting the F100, the F15 unboxing, uncrating. So lots of good stuff coming up. So. One more question here, Bash Till Broken. What is the best MKS standard size servo for 3D in your opinion? Depends on the plane you're talking about. I would generally suggest a 599 would be the best option. Yeah, I mean that's a good option. The 3850s with the 8mm spline are good as well too. But yeah, the 599s are probably the best option. So that's what I would suggest. So.
Okay, everybody's saying good night.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Happy New Year. Take care, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on this channel and on Wednesday on our regular channel.